Hi everyone, and today we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Golden Age Guts. Hey everyone, today we're taking a look at the Golden Age Guts figure from SH Figuarts. Of course, he is part of the Berserk line. I am excited to get into this guy because I was wrong. Don't get to say that very often, especially when it comes to Berserk. However, whenever this guy was first announced, I was very critical of the face portraits that he was going to have. And you know what? In hand, he is absolutely stunning. But before we get onto the figure, I wanted to take a look at. I love the Berserk inserts that they come with. So real quick, let's look at his instructions here. Front and back. Nothing super crazy on this. It's everything you kind of imagine. And then he is the first Golden Age release we are getting from the Berserk line. So here is the insert. This is really pretty. It is all Kentaro Miura art. I really enjoy it. Looking at our favorite struggler, you're going to notice a lot of sculpted detail, a lot of great paint detail, and a lot of just manga accuracy. Yeah, he looks really good. Whenever you look at the sculpt of the armor, you're going to see a lot of he's down, a lot of divots. Go ahead and focus, camera to focus. Okay. You'll see a lot of dings and beat up pieces here, and the paint just shines. I don't know. It's just I like being wrong in this instance. Is what I'm getting at. Coming down to the boots. That's good. Are those painted buckles? Hard to tell on camera. No. Buckles are not painted on the boots. And then for some reason, I don't know why Miura designed them all with spurs, but they all have spurs. But he looks great. So, but of course, the burning question here is, how does Guts compare with other Berserk figures? So let's go ahead and put Guts up to his stiffest competition. Guts is up against his stiffest competition. Here he is next to the SH Figuarts Band of the Hawk Guts. There we go. And they look really good next to each other. The Figuarts, I think, has the more anime accurate, or not anime accurate, but manga accurate proportions and facial features there. Where, of course, the Figma was based off of the movie, so they gave him more of the movie design for there. But you can see shinier and more plate mail looking, whereas this one is more dull. Different colored pants. But they both look really good. Where this one will shine, I suppose this one is the articulation on this guy is absolutely killer. But let's go ahead and get him next to his paramour here. Figma Casca. And you know what? If you're going to mix and match lines, which I will be doing, they look good next to each other, but there's obviously stylistic differences. SH Figuarts Casca comes out in January of next year, I believe. So, yeah, she will be getting replaced. Alright, so let's go ahead and put Guts up next to his future self here. Here he is in the Berserker armor. Off the top of my head, I think this is the reissue that they did. And you know what? They look pretty good side to side. However, one interesting tidbit is that the Golden Age version is slightly taller than the than the Berserker armor figure. Get it together. There we go. Yeah. Just a little bit, not quite the same height. Now, if you have followed this channel for any discernible length of time, then you know that I'm a Berserker armor apologist. I have a few copies of it, and each one is mostly good, except for one. I have one bad copy. The other ones are all pretty solid. But, you know what? I cannot get over how excited I am to have these guys side by side here. Alright, so I'll keep these guys side by side for now. However, we are going to get away from talking about the actual figure, and let's go ahead and talk about his accessories. So, of course, one of the big things that they talked about with this figure is that he does come with a bendy wire cape, just like most of the other Berserk figures. Go ahead and get focused here. And he does come with a Band of the Hawk pin. One thing that I noticed is that the fabric for this is a little see-through. Not bad, like, it does feel good in hand, and the wire does move very well. With Guts, of course, you are going to get his Golden Age sword, not the Dragon Slayer, so it is lighter. Nice, large length, and you can see here it is very tall. You're going to get a knife. And not only will you get a knife, you will get the knife hilt that just plugs in there, which I'm very surprised. I give import companies problems. I give import companies grief all the time over this. Yes, I think you should just mold one piece and just put it in there. However, I pegged this in earlier and it has yet to pop out. So already better than the Berserker armor Guts' knife. So you will get some hands. You're getting a lot. It's Tamashi. You're getting hands. So, right hand, left hand. Right hand fist. And relaxed hand. Let's see here. Another fist. And of course, I have the holding hands on him. He does have the ball pegs, so they just snap on. Nice, solid snap. Let's see. You do get some faces for the head with hair, so you do get a smirking face, as well as a yelling face. Both of those painted and sculpted very well. You get, now this is one of the few things that kind of annoys me about him. So you do get his Golden Age helmet. The visor does flip up and down, which is really nice. However, the ears on it are molded, so it never quite works as a separate piece. And it comes with 2 extra heads on that, so you're going to get a stoic one. I'm going to pop that in there. And here is how it looks. And then you just pop that down. Not too shabby. And then here is through gritted teeth, and they are labeled 1 through 5. And I think that is all of his accessories. And one cool thing about this is, unlike the other Guts that have released so far, you can just store the Golden Age sword. I can't do that on camera. Just store that right there. He does wear that with pride. And when you are putting on the cloak or the cape, you can unclasp it, but it is easier just to pop that head off and then pop that on. So, there you go. Ta-da! Okay, so you guys might be wondering, Lucas, why is the Berserker Armor Guts still out? Well, we're going to go over articulation on this new one. So, real quick, double ball peg, and this does move fairly well. Not as tight as some of the other releases. Go ahead and put that back on there. Good enough. Not bad there, not bad there. Shoulders is where you're going to see a huge change. So, the pauldrons are free-floating. With the pauldrons on, it is going to... Oh, it popped off. Without the pauldrons, it goes up pretty high. With pauldrons on, you are going to see some restriction, as to be expected from a character that wears a bunch of armor. I put that on back upside down. Whoops. Lucas, you are an idiot. There we go. Okay. So, but since we're talking about the shoulders, this is my favorite thing about this figure. Alright, I'm just gonna pop that right back off. Notice that the shoulder joint is completely new and improved from the Berserker armor. It does have a butterfly in there as well. And so let's look at the Berserker armor figure. He has that weird Reveltech style joint, which on some copies did split very easy. This copy, not so much. That's the real reason I kept him around for that. So you do get nice diaphragm joint here, or not diaphragm, but lower waist. Not going to get a ton of crunch forward. Decent back. Bicep swivel. So the only real problem on this figure that I had is that his right arm is stiff. So we're gonna, right there, I did loosen it up. You'll see it's a little shiny. I did loosen that up with some Dawn dish detergent. Wrist ball peg. He does get very nice splits. Don't come up. Not too bad. Double jointed knees. Boots. Toe pivot. He has all the articulation you kind of expect from an SH Figuart. And even though he is in armor, he's slightly limited, but not as limited as you would be worried about, I feel. And one little detail I do like about this guy is that if you come to his left, and we focus in just a little, or just a lot, the inner, so right before the forearm and the wrist, there's an extra little piece right there that kind of covers the ball peg. I really like that. I don't know why. It's just a little silly thing, but it is really neat in my head. So just like the Dragon Slayer, wherever you do want to put this in his hand, it just this pops off at the pommel. And we're going to put it in Guts' hand here. Because this sword is so light and they have re-engineered the shoulders so well, he has no problems holding the Golden Age sword like so. And also these pieces move out of the way very well when you're articulating. Shazam! And there you have it. There is the SH Figuarts Golden Age Guts in all of his glory. Honestly, this guy surprised the crap out of me. I liked him a lot more than I thought I was going to. He looks great. He articulates great. As much as I liked the Berserker armor and the Heat of Passion, in the moment, I do think that this might be the best Guts figure on the market. Now, give me a couple days, I might look at the Heat of Passion again and be like, that's better. But everything on this guy works so well that it's hard not to give him the top spot. Even just getting him into the sword pose. I tried doing that with the Berserker armor Guts a little bit ago, and it took forever. This guy did it in 30 seconds. So yeah, he is great. At the words, he is great. In Japan, he retails for about $70. After shipping, you're looking at $90 to $100. He is worth every penny of that. And with a release this good for the Berserk line, it gives me high hopes for the future, and also really excited for Casca at the start of next year. But thank you guys for watching. More information on Sword for Hire coming soon. And thank you. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. I'll see you guys on the next round.